In today's video, we're taking a look at the ZGCine V50 battery, which I actually have right here on the Red Komodo. And what's interesting about this V50 battery is how small it is. I mean, take a look at how small the body of the Red Komodo is with the ZGCine battery on. So what's great about this battery is the fact that not only can it power devices like the Red Komodo, but I can actually power it using power delivery, which means that I only have to bring one type of power source, which I know you guys have been hearing all the time, but one type of power source to power all of my equipment. So when I'm on a little trip like this, where I'm trying to bring the most minimal amount of luggage with me, it really helps.
So a little bit of a time jump here. I'm back home after doing pre-production in Atlanta, and here is the ZGCine 50-watt battery. Now, what's special about this battery is it's the best bang for your buck 50-watt battery out there when it comes to price and also when it comes to functionality. So with this 50-watt battery, it has up to 5 power outs, including these BP contacts back here. So if you hook it up to a camera that has a battery back or a camera that accepts V-mount batteries natively, well, you can output to up to 5 devices directly from this V-mount itself. Not to mention if you're using some kind of V-mount plate like on the Red Komodo, using like a Core SWX or Tilta, or whatever you may be using, you can also get extra power outs from that as well. But natively, you get the 5 power outs from here. Now, another thing about this battery is obviously it's much lighter than a lot of the other V-mounts out there, and that has a lot to do with it being a 50-watt battery. So if you're powering a camera like the Red Komodo, this isn't necessarily going to power the Red Komodo all day or even for more than a few hours. It's probably going to power it for around an hour. And then obviously if you hook up extra things like, you know, a wireless transmitter, follow focus, monitor, well, that's all going to use up the battery power too. So when it comes to power out, the ZGCine 50 watt specifically has 4 power out. It has the traditional USB-A out. It has a USB-C power delivery that is in and out, unlike the 99 watt where it actually has one that's in and one that's out, where it saves space on here by doing the one. It also has a D-tap out and then also an additional 5 volt out. And I've actually been using the 5 volt out to power monitors versus using the D-tap just because it's a little bit easier. I have a lot more of the 5 volt out cords. I actually show it to you right here. And it's like a traditional, I think it's a 2.5 millimeter. Why aren't you grabbed? There we go. And this right here, this is the 5 volt out. Now, the reason I say that this 50 watt is the best bang for your buck 50 watt battery out there, it has to do with 2 things. It has to do with the fact that number one, the price is absolutely the best price you're going to find on a 50 watt battery, especially when you look at the competition that's out there. You can get this for around $120, and then occasionally there are some coupons on Amazon where you can get this for around $110. So it's much cheaper than the competition. In addition to that, you can also charge this over power delivery, which I've spoken in so many videos about how beneficial that is if you can have cameras or batteries that are charged over the power delivery port, because then you can bring one kind of charger, one kind of power accessory. I know I already covered this, but I know it's just really important that if you need to save on weight, that's where power delivery definitely comes in handy. Now, I did mention I use this for gimbal work, and this works really well as a gimbal battery. The thing is going to be range of motion on your gimbal, and getting full range of motion with a camera like the Red Komodo and a battery like this is going to depend on what kind of V-mount battery plate you have. If you have something like the Tilta battery plate where you're able to mount this sideways, then yeah, you're absolutely going to get full range of motion using this 50 watt. If you use something like the Core SWX, which is unfortunately what I have, you have to mount this vertically, which is pretty typical when it comes to V-mounts. However, because of how this sits, and you could probably see this from the footage right here, you actually can't get full range of motion, and it's not the battery's fault. It's because of how they sit this battery on the Komodo. Now, when it comes to gigs and using this as your main battery, not necessarily a gimbal battery, if you're using cameras like this Sony FX30 like we're using right now, or the Canon R7, really any mirrorless camera, this 50 watt is a really great value, and it'll probably, you know, last you the entire shoot. If you're using something like the Red Komodo, it's definitely not going to last you the whole shoot, but let's say you're doing an extremely quick gig and you want to be able to use V-mount because you're going to power not only your camera, but you're going to power your monitor, whatever accessories you have, and your shoot's under a few hours. Well, then if you're very cautious with your power on and off, yeah, this 50 watt will put you through the entire shoot. But that's where I would also say if you're going to do a shoot and use a camera like the Red Komodo and you want to have one of ZGCine's batteries, I'd probably look at their 99 watt hour because you can still charge that battery over USB-C power delivery. You get a little bit more juice out of it, and between this 50 watt and the 99 watt, I've actually been able to cover power on my Red Komodo when I've been really careful with powering on and off the camera when I'm not using it. Another great use for using this battery is to use it to power lighting accessories, like this Amaran 60D or this LED panel that I have that actually has native V-mount abilities on the back. And the 50 watt works really great, especially when using these lower powered or lower output lights, just because I can use them for a multi-hour shoot and they work really great and typically last that entire shoot. Now for a full day shoot, I typically get around 4 hours of power out of this 50 watt, so you will need multiple ones. But if you're doing a really quick shoot or a really quick interview, then this battery works amazing because, again, it's small and light, but also gives you enough power to last through the whole shoot day. And then, of course, if you're traveling, there's the USB-C. So again, it just makes things really easy because then not only are your cameras able to be powered via USB-C power delivery, but also your lighting equipment is as well. So overall, I can't express how much I recommend this ZGCine battery. Now, for once, I actually contacted ZGCine to see if they would send me a review unit of this battery because I really enjoyed their 99 watt hour and I wanted to test to see how this would work with the core SWX battery plate I have on the Komodo. Now, I have used it on the gimbal and I've used it for shoots that I don't need full range of motion, but that's where I have the experience of letting you know you don't get full range of motion specifically with Core's SWX battery. Honestly, I'm going to tell you right here, Core SWX has been my least favorite thing about the Komodo. I got it because it was RED approved, but it's just not that great. And I rather have something else RED approved. I may do a video on whatever I move to, but for now I've been using Core SWX's battery plate. So I've kind of had to live with the limitations, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to be able to use this on the gimbal and get full range of motion, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up moving to. But if you have any questions about the ZGCine 50 watt, make sure to ask in the comments below. And if you got knowledge and value out of today's video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with the latest videos from the channel. Until next time, my name's Geoff Fagien. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.